Hello guys, my name is Yesop. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be teaching you beginners how to make 808s more melodic in FL Studio. Let's get right into it. So here's the beat without the melody, pretty much. Here it is. Here's how it sounds. So, simple beat with the melody here. Now, usually, since I made about a 5-bar long drum pattern here, I usually come up and add the plus sign, make another pattern called the 808 itself. Usually, you can do the 808 in the pattern you're in, but I want my 808 to be a little longer, so we're gonna do 9 bars instead of 5 bars like my drum pattern here, so we can have more creativity with how we're gonna make our 808s more melodic. So first things first, when you're gonna create 808s, whether it being for hip-hop or trap or anything like that, I personally like to use long 808s. Long 808s seem to be, you can get more slides in them, you could get more glides, dives, and all that type of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and use long 808. Long 808s like, or like this, or like this. Those solely 3. You also have the plug 808s, which are used on a lot of songs today. But we're gonna be teaching you guys about long 808s and how to make them more melodic, So we're just gonna grab an 808 in here. Just gonna grab a regular 808. Alright, as you know, we gotta make sure our 808 is in tune. Also turn this box thing in right here to make sure that it goes off every time I press the key. Alright, cool. Now pretty much for an ear thing, since for beginners out there, all you need to do is hear with your ear. That's all you need to do when you're hearing through the song. You go. My advice would probably be going to the higher notes of 808s, and then you could hear the real sounds. Because the 808 is too low, then you're not really gonna hear it. You could always drag it back down. Like I said, I just want to go the pitch to be high enough so where I can hear the note. So. That's the key right there. So then the next key would be down here. As you can see, I'm following the pattern of those 3 keys right here, and it's always got to be in front of them. And that's our key right here that we're going to be using. So just gonna turn this up a bit. Pretty nice. So we're just gonna make some basic, and then we're gonna make a basic 808 pattern, and then we're gonna go ahead and teach you how to make it more complex. So let's see. Alright, that's our basic 808 pattern here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try to spice this up. So first things first, you want to add note variations. Don't be afraid to go ahead and try to put in notes that are more, that you don't really hear a lot. So right here in the beginning right here, we could do something like a passing note. So we could do like, so a passing note would either always, for me, be a default, like the higher octave of your original note, as I was saying when I said about those patterns here. And usually when you're doing a passing note, for me, it's always gonna be the one up top. It doesn't always have to be that, but for me, it's always gonna be, for that. You could do that, or you could do it shorter right here. That's nice. Or, we could also incorporate something called slides that we could add in between our little spaces here. Right here, we could do maybe like 2 slides here. A slide is pretty much, a note that makes it glide, a note that makes the 808 glide. So all you need to do is just press this little triangle here, and now you're on the slide note. Place down the note that you want to do. So say we want to do this. We're gonna shrink that to where it is. We're gonna click it off, and then we're gonna press it down below here. So now we got a slide here. We get a little slide right here. Now obviously if I play this, you can still hear the note, but I wanted to hear the note more. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna go into these cell step. We're gonna go into 2, and as you can see, the lines changed up. I'm just gonna make that a little smaller. As you know, slides, the longer you make them, the more it'll get to that note. So you could think of it as the bass note traveling up to the slide note, and that's how long it's gonna take for it to go up there. The shorter it is, the better it's gonna get the note. The longer, and you can hear it right there. So I'm just gonna pattern this so y'all guys can hear more. Like that. The shorter it is. I'm not saying this is bad, glides, they're pretty good too. You could also use those, get more creative with it. But we're just gonna do those passing notes. Next thing you could do is adding a slide at the end of your notes. Sometimes those work. So you could go ahead and tap the slide note again. As you can see, tap it. And you're gonna go ahead and just place a note down anywhere on the bottom below it. So it could be a muffled noise. And we're just gonna stretch that all the way down, and it'll be like a dive. The 808 here will be going down at the end. So we could do that. You can make it shorter, of course, but I usually like to keep mine long. Like that would be good. Again, you could use variation notes. So right here, we could add another note here when the kick is not playing. The 808 doesn't always have to be on the kick, you could always add it somewhere else without the kick. Since usually 808s are placed on the kick, you could put them in places where the kick is not supposed to be. We want the 808 to be the star of the show, pretty much. So you could do. You could do something like that. See? We'll play it again on the pattern. So another thing you can do is just like this over here with this dive, you could also add it up so it could go up while it's doing it instead of going down. We're just gonna put this back. We could do that over here, so we could do like a passing note where the slide right here is going to this note, and it makes it more smoother. So like this. And we could do the same thing again. We could get more creative. We could take this and then we could bring it back down. We're just playing with it pretty much. It's a pretty simple objective, as long as you know how to, when you get that right, you just gotta listen to your ear, whatever sounds good. FL Studio creativity, you could do whatever you want with these 808s. So right here we can add another one. You can add like another note. So now we can add other notes that we hear. You just have to pretty much map it out in your ear of how you're gonna do this, start off with bass notes, and then you could do that process. Once you get better at it, you don't have to do any more bass notes. You could just put in what you're hearing. You just have to, sometimes you just got to sit down and think of what you're going to be doing to that 808. You're going to be hearing, okay, that's how I want it to go, or what you're going to be doing. Since it's for beginners, a lot of tutorials on YouTube on where to tune your 808s, but the more you get on FL Studio, the better you'll be able to use it. Pretty much, the better you'll be able to use it. I've been using FL Studio for about a year now, and I gotten a lot of tips and I got a lot of tricks just from doing YouTube. So I wanted to try and help you guys out to how you could get your 808s to be more melodic and stuff. Right here we could add. That's nice. We could add another dive here. And we could add a higher note, which is a bypass note right here. And we could add this. And we could put it higher. Remember what I said about those 3 notes? And those go for any other notes. It's not just this note. This would be the same. Nice. We want to turn that down a bit. It's getting a little too loud here. We could also do a dive. Pretty much what you're gonna do is pretty much the same thing as a glide. So we could put up this note, and we could go to the higher octave, and we tap that note right here, and we could place the slide note down where it was before, and now it's just gonna be a total dive down. Let me show you guys again. So pretty much, yeah, nice. It's pretty nice to add, creativity and stuff like that. So I had something in my head. Maybe we could do like da-na, da-na, da-na. Hold on, let me see. That sounds nice. Sounds pretty sick. All in the mind, guys. All in the mind. Whatever you hear, you can create on FL Studio. Just to get that little spice in there. Let's see. We're gonna try to make another slide. Let's see what else we could do. Just gonna get creative with it. Let's try to do. Let me see. Let's see. And then we're gonna add like another slide right here that goes down into the note. So as you can see here, we got one slide going like this on that note, and then as soon as it slides that note off, it's gonna go down. So let's see how it sounds. Let's see. Sounds nice. Let's try moving it over, see what happens. All about experimenting. You could also move the notes just by pressing that little select key up there. I'm changing it up. You know, you sometimes get those ideas where you want to change stuff up. It's okay. It's okay to do, you know? It's always about experimenting. You could always press Command, Option Z since I'm on Mac, or Control Z if you're on PC, to go back to what you were doing. Sounds nasty. Sounds sick. Gonna add another glide note here. All about the slides and the glides, man. Jumps, cuts, all that stuff. Oh, I just had an idea. It was something that I learned usually from listening to a lot of hard 808 trap beats. So we could do something. We could do something like go up to a high note. We're just gonna go to cell. We're gonna put it to maybe 2, and then we're just gonna select that, and we're gonna just press Command U, which would chop up our note here. And usually I just delete the notes in the middle. Just delete all of those until we end it right here. And then I would turn those volumes up. Nice, that sounds fire. I say we did us a solid here about our 808s. As you can see, you could do a lot of stuff on here, man. It's no joke, you know, about these 808s. They're pretty much, for me, always going to be the star of the show, you know, especially in hip-hop and trap beats. You know, a lot of people these days, you know, for some people, it's not even about what people are spitting, you know. It's about sometimes the music and what they do with it, you know. Sometimes they don't even search up the music. They search up the instrumental because, you know, that's how good it is. But yeah, guys, that's how you make your 808s more melodic. Always be creative, guys. It's the key to making your 808s more melodic. Get that sound in your head. Start with bass notes. Start with slides, glides, dives, and all that type of stuff. More 808 tutorials coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.